Well, I thought for a long time about religious life in some form. As a young child and then as a high school student, I thought about diocesan priesthood. Then I went to St. Bonaventure University, a school run by the Franciscans, and over the course of 4 years there, got to know a number of the friars, and at that point started to realize that I could see myself in that way of life, and it was a perfect fit. So it was over time and getting to know the Franciscans and letting them let me into their life and to see a little bit of what this life is about. Today is actually the renewal of our vows. So I'm just finishing my first year in temporary vows and finishing my first year of graduate theology studies, which is the third year in formation. So we start off with the first year of postulancy, which is a candidate type program where you're really engaged in ministry and exploring what it's like to live as a Franciscan without making any sort of formal, too formal of a commitment. You don't profess vows at that point. And then you enter the novitiate, which is a year of prayerful reflection and further discernment, at which point you're a friar, but you haven't professed vows. At the end of that year, you make your first vows, your temporary vows, and that's the year I'm completing now. If I was talking to somebody who was considering entering the Franciscans, I would say that there are probably three things that would be a particular draw or something that keeps me here. The first thing is the Franciscan spirituality, the 800 years of tradition that we carry with us, that we inherit, the spirituality that's began with St. Francis and continues through the Franciscan intellectual tradition and the spiritual tradition that we carry today. I think the diversity of ministries that we have here in Holy Name Province is a particular draw. Everybody does something different, and their talents and gifts and abilities are utilized in unique ways to live out the gospel life. And I would say that the third thing is community life. Today it can be very difficult to work in the church and to minister to God's people, and to do that alone is quite a challenge, and not everybody's up to that. Not everybody's called to community either, but this is a particular way of living that's very life-giving and supportive. I look forward to continuing in this way of life. I look forward to this afternoon renewing my vows and continuing to grow in this vocation and to continue my studies in theology, to be able to articulate that experience and to share that with others. It's interesting as we enter a new period in history, technologies around us, and people struggle with identifying how to live out a Christian life, how to live their faith in this world. I think I particularly, and the Franciscans in general, especially us here on the east coast of the U.S. and Holy Name Province, can provide the opportunity to minister to people and help guide them, to walk with them in that journey today.